Good afternoon. Welcome. Apologies for the slightly later start. I was busy doing some things pre-stream, so I had to finish those first. All right. Oh, wait. There we go. So, we are starting with some UI development because I want to redo my Tomb Raider overlay because, let's face it, it's not as helpful as I wanted it to be done the way that I've done it. And the way I did it made it so that I could change things in like the inspector just by going like to here and adding items to existing resources. I don't need to do that. I have the entire UI. I can just open up the script and add stuff to the script, drag stuff into the UI. I don't need to worry about making it user friendly for someone else. Not unless I end up releasing it for people to use. Like if Shadow Wolf wants to use it, which possibly in the future, but I don't need to worry about that for now. And because I tried to do it in a reusable way, or not a reusable way, a easily editable way, I think it's just not quite as refined as I want it to be. So what have we actually got script wise? So, oh yeah, we've got the events being pulled from the from StreamerBot, which, yeah, we can handle that in a better way. We've got the resource, which is game stat. We have the resource that is game stats, which is a list of game stat items. And we have the status panel, which is reading through, setting the labels to things. But I don't think we need any of that. So let me load up Obsidian. Make sure that got the right view open. It should do good. There's nothing in here that's not meant to be seen yet. Nope. To be honest, I haven't done a lot in here, so it's probably not going to be that useful. But right, so we're actually going to abstract this slightly. So this, quick look at this. So this stats panel is just here. So I want to actually add a parent above this. This, actually, let's do this. Create a new scene. It's going to be user interface. It starts with control. This is going to be main. Oh, let's call it overlay. We'll save this in scenes. Create a new folder. Put overlay. Do that. Now main, we're going to rename to Tomb Raider, because that's the one I'm going to be working on first. So I need to finish Chronicles. So we're going to rename this to Tomb Raider. Rename that. So in here, we've got, save that. We'll add in a child. We'll add in Tomb Raider. So if I go to project, I go to run. The start screen is going to be overlay. That's my start screen. We've moved it. So if we run this, everything should run as it did before. We're going to rename that script. It's going to be tombraider.gd. It's good. Renamed everything properly. Overlay. What's the best way of doing this? Because a lot of this is going to be moved. So let's create a global. We'll add a folder called globals. It'd help if I could spell it. And in here, we're going to add a new script. This is going to be called, what did I call it in my other project? I like to keep things consistent, and I'm still getting used to I just called it events. And this is going to be global, not globals. Let me just, where's my notepad going to open up? Good. Right. So extends node. I'm going to add in, first of all, we're going to ignore the fact that it's an unused signal. We're going to add a signal, streamer, bot, event, received. We're going to take a string. Hang on, what do we get? So we received, I believe this, if I hold control and click on that. Okay, so it gives us a variant. So in the events, we want to take a variant. Oh, we spelled wrong. So this will be data of type variant. So we want to, in the primary overlay, add a script called overlay. So pretty much gonna copy all of this, just cut this and put it into here. This shouldn't be a mate. Okay, clear that. So let's clear some stuff up. We don't need the on ready. don't need that. We actually, right, let's keep that. So we want to go for, oh, I need to add it as a global first, and otherwise it won't exist. Project settings, globals. We're going to add the events global. Here we go. Events dot emit. We're going to emit that. So we've received an event, and we're just going to push it out. Let's add a new folder. I'm going to call this JSON variants. No, this should be all lowercase, shouldn't it? There we go. So I want to, let me have a quick Google of something. I'm going to do this for a change. Got okay. So we've got JSON. I want to do parse. And parse string turns a variant. I want this to be as an object I could just populate. Let's add a script. This one's going to do ref counted. Streamer bot request. So if we copy this for a second, we'll open the new script. Got a comment of that there. We'll remove the extra stuff so that it's literally just a JSON request. That. So let's specify some things. Can't use exports because I'll add in some variables now. Right, so we want one called request. There's a string ID, which is also a string because we haven't got a GUID object type. Then we have a events object, which is a variant. Let's put this as a variant for now. So I'm going to need to put a do I have to put a class name? I probably have to put a class name in. Should be streamer bot request. We haven't got types dictionaries yet. So let's add into here a new script. This one's going to be let's do a raw list. I wish there was a way to clear previous chats because I don't need to. I only need to see chats from this stream. I don't see all of them. Can be really annoying, really confusing. The class name is raw list. Just a an array of strings. No, I don't think that's going to be right. Let's find out. So we want to create a new request. Ugh. Okay. Request equals Streamerbot not new. Request dot request equals subscribe. Request dot ID equals this ID. Request dot events equals raw list dot new. We go request dot events so we want a list of strings. So in this case, it would just be action. I don't think that's going to work. So if we do print JSON dot stringify, we're taking the variant, which is request. We'll put a breakpoint here. Save it. And we want to debug. All right, let's go to Tomb Raider. We'll detach the script for now. And now we'll run it. Oh, script in hand. That script is no longer attached. And also it doesn't inherit, well, it's empty, I guess. Let's just go to overlay and we'll grab extends control and we'll just stick it in. There we go. Now it's not going to complain. Okay, so invalid property, raw with type of array. Type of raw list. Oh, raw list extends node. That should be ref counted. We should get to the breakpoint, which we don't. What is events? Events.raw. Raw is an array of strings. And so events is a raw list. It's just an object. But why are you... Okay, let's take this line out for a second, and we'll do the rest. See what the rest come through as. And we do a JSON.stringify. Step over it. What did it print? Not what I wanted. I mean, I could create a dictionary. I don't really want to do that. Yeah, most people are just using dictionary. I don't want to use dictionaries. I want something a bit more concrete. That's the idea of the ref counted, which is not what I want. So look at the okay. Let's try that then. So let's stop it. Ref counted. Fascinating Twitch subscriptions. Okay. So we've got the class name, and then we've got, I mean, I don't know how to use this yet, but so we've got class. I'll just use message for now. That extends ref counted. How do they do it? I don't know why I thought it would be curly braces. Don't need any functions. That's essentially what I want, is string array. how is this used? Okay. So we go back to overlay. It would be stream bot request dot message. I believe I called it. I have to new it. And you can't find. Oh, okay. Do something easier to keep alive. Okay. So it's creating a load of subclasses essentially. Classes in a dictionary. I guess it doesn't have to, just right. We got var body equals what's with the semicolons? Okay, so it's can use semicolons. Completely optional, but allows. So body type message that, and we can go to overlay. Comment that one out as well. Let's run this now. See what we get when we stringify this time. Okay, that's request with value type string on a base object type GT script. That looks like a string to me. All right. going to, can I create a, open this as a new tab? Actually, show me in file system. Open an external program, which is going to be Notepad. Just so I've got it on my other monitor. Let's stop this. We'll go to here. Let's take events out for a second. So we'll add an init function where we'll go request. Request is a string. We'll just use I is a string. I'll rename these in a minute. The request equals rec. ID equals I. And then we've got yep, so like that. Then we come over to overlay. New. We pass through subscribe. And the ID. Take those out. What do we have now? That. Mission successful. It stopped running because I changed it. And we step over. The output. That's no good. Still. All right, so could just be how I'm using it. I want the subscription is not null. Well, assert whether the subscription is not null. I have to do dot value on it? Overlay dot value. I mean, you're not complaining that it doesn't exist. So let's find out. Okay, so no, it's not. Let's close a load of this stuff that I don't need. That's it's creating a subscription where you pass through the various things and it creates news stuff. I want somewhere where I'm using a subscription. Event listener, wasn't it? That's type subscription. Okay, so it's using dot value because there is a dot value. So if I was to open overlay, and do request dot ID and run it, it wouldn't complain saying it doesn't exist because it does exist. And we printed out the value of, which is kind of what we want. But it's not what I want at the same time. Can I do a find in? No. Everywhere we're using JSON in here. So we've got JSON. What's the, there it is. No. It's returning a dictionary, it's not what I want. So this is an event sub. Again, this is data received. I don't want data received. Where is this? Okay, so we've got from JSON to JSON, which includes to dictionary. Okay, so user VIP class, user ID, username, user login name. They can be different. So from JSON, creates a new user VIP object. If the dictionary has user ID and user ID is not null, set the classes object for that. And return the results. That returns a user VIP object. I'm not sure what changed data is used for. Oh, to dictionary. Okay, this is a lot more complicated than I thought. I thought it'd be, yeah, nice and easy. Nah, it's not. Not this. So if we do a search for this, where is this used? How is it used? So that's the actual in this class itself. Check user subscription response. Yes, it's actually a lot more complicated than I thought. So it's soon to dictionary. So every time something's changed, change data is set to be what happens if it's not changed? And I guess it's a case of if you're not populating that field, you obviously don't need that field. Why is it setting it as a tool, I wonder? They're all being set as tools. But this is like the subscription class from, is it here? Yeah, this doesn't work the same way. But then it doesn't look like this is actually sent via socket. But on receive, which gives type, it just passes the data. So when on data received, just raises another signal. I don't understand why, but I mean, this is straightforward enough. Bit confusing as to why, but straightforward enough. Okay. So these are all the objects that are sent and received. So let's open this in my external editor. Notepad. So I can use it as a base. Minimize you guys. Streamer.bot request. So there's that tool. I haven't done much with that tool yet. Anyway. Get rid of this. Got request. The string. We want a set for this. Okay, request equals the value. We want a dictionary. The dictionary, which is an empty dictionary to begin with. So whenever there's a request that's changed data equals request. I basically got to copy this for this. This, and we got events. It's actually an array. We'll do an array of strings for now. Let's actually move this at the top. This. Then we've got a static function. Which is from JSON, which takes a dictionary, because that's what it outputs, which gives me a StreamerBot request. We will create a new StreamerBot request. And we go, if the dictionary dot has an ID, actually a request, and request is not null, which it shouldn't be, but we do results dot request equals this. And then we just copy this for ID. For event, we just return results. So that's ID, 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 ID. That. Then we've got another, this one's not a static function, it's just a function. ToDict, which just returns a dictionary. Just returns changed data. And then we've got a function, 2 lines there, not one. To JSON, which returns a string. Where we return JSON.stringify. The ToDictionary method. Now if we go into overlay, request dot request equals subscribe. I have to get used to, I've been so used to not putting semis in. Request.id equals this GUID. Although I do need to get a GUID generator. And then we'll just do request.toJSON. We don't need to do it. Oh, excuse me. So now if we debug this, we print out the ID, the request, I don't know why it's sourcing it, but unless it's doing it in reverse order. But I mean, it is JSON, so it shouldn't matter. Right, so now we've got it sort of working. We can also do this. We can put func in it, which takes a request, a string, GUID, that's a string, and we go request equals request, and we do ID equals GUID. And go back to here, and we can just shift these into here. Thereby meaning we don't need those. Now why are you complaining? Oh, okay. Yeah, because we do new here, so we just do that. That. Can we have two inits? Func init pass. No, we can't. Can we default these? I guess we can just do that. I'll default some more. Ooh, actually, can I do null? Null? Null. Yes, because and should do escape as soon as. If it's not empty. But yeah, there shouldn't be a legitimate time I need empty. Okay, so I don't think I need raw list, to be honest. It's probably not needed. Take this out. Have a look at the streamer bot documentation again for a minute. Okay, so we've got category name and then so I'm specifically looking for the raw events. Specifically the action event. The request is subscribe. And the specific event that I'm subscribing to is action, which is of type raw. So if we look at okay. How are we going to do this well? I don't think there's a params. No, it doesn't exist. Yeah, so compositor isn't dictionary. So we could do a array of strings. We got actions. Array of strings. And we want just raw. No. We want action. And then on the stream of bots, we contain this to a dictionary. Pass through dictionary, and we go events equals dict. No, we don't need an array of dictionaries, we just need a dictionary. Then we just do an empty dictionary. I think that's fine. Do we have a... Does that work? Seems to. Now we go to overlay. We add a dictionary where raw was raw. Have a look. What does this compile down to? Well, print out as? So we go to the next line. No, not quite. Events subscribe, which is not right. So I've obviously messed something up. Ah, there we go. Let's try this. The problem with copy paste. So we've got events, and it is doing it in reverse order. Okay. or alphabetical order, possibly. Hard to tell. So let's compare that to our request, subscribe. ID is the GUID. We've got events, which is a dictionary, raw, with a list of. Okay, good. So we can now go to here. We can replace this abomination with this. That will subscribe to we have a function for on close. I guess exit tree probably. Because we want to go to, we want to do basically the same thing. Except probably a different GUID. That should have a semi on it, as should that and that. So we want to unsubscribe. We want to print out unsubscribe. Done. Action subscribe done. Let's just grab a GUID generator. Okay, so we have got a GUID generator that we can add. All right, is it in the asset list? GUID. UUID. This the one I'm looking at? Yes, it is. It's MIT, so we'll just add that. install it there. Good. Projects, plugins, enable that. So how do we use this? All right, if it's... Why do I need to preload the add-on if it's added it as a global? So UUID v4. So if I save this and I run this, it should successfully subscribe. That needs to be changed for a thing. Error. Okay. Overlay 27. Oh, right. So I'm creating the request, I'm not actually sending it. So there's a couple of things. I like how I haven't actually done anything to the overlay stuff yet. I'm just resorting stuff that was already working. Just I want to make it cleaner. Right, okay. This would be unsubscribe. Which is apparently written like that. Really weird, but there we go. So that would be, hang on, where's my GD script guide? Constant scope before exports. There. And we'll do UUID util. That. We clear these. Now we run it. Okay, so we're successful. Action subscribe done. And if the stats are wrong, it's part of the reason why I want to change this. Yeah, that one I know. Okay, so that didn't unsubscribe. I would like to think that that automatically unsubscribed when the client exited. I have no way of actually seeing subscriptions. Other than like when they're connected. So if I bring this, I can see that. I can't see. Okay. I'll leave the exit tree in there because that's fine. Because later on I'm going to have like a quit button. Right, so we can now do requests. Like, this is good. Because I could do, we'll just do a print for this. Streamerbot request dot new. UUID util.v4. Empty dictionary. We could do something like get events. And we could do socket send. Test. Does that actually return anything? No, it doesn't look like it does. Well, let's just do a var out. And we'll put a breakpoint on it. I'm curious. What you get back from that. But anyway, so I also want to do a print. We'll do test.toJSON. So now if we run this, we've hit the breakpoint. That's not right. That event shouldn't be there. So that obviously didn't work. Actually, no, of course it wouldn't work. I need to put the checks in here. I mean, if I carry it on over to the next line, out would be 1. Okay, so that's the status code. If I go over to Streamerbot, WebSocket closed, clean fault, probably because I had the breakpoint there. If I redo that, wait for the outputs. So we've got no breakpoints. So 0. It's probably just like, yeah, all good. I'm sure there'll be a socket method. Web socket peer. Okay, so it probably came back as a message. Where we got? So if we do a print string there, so just printing out every string that comes back from the socket. This could get a bit spammy. Let's have a look. Okay, so the request was that. There we go. See, this was the get events. So these are all the events I could potentially subscribe to. So if we find, where is it? We're raw. Gato, crowd control, Patreon, YouTube, miscellaneous, Twitch, text to speech, command, quote, I mean, finding one in here would be a nightmare. Coffee, OBS, MIDI. Well, somewhere in here is raw. It's custom. Shopify. Anyway, there we go. Raw. Action, sub-action, action completed. But yeah, so that is actually, I'm relatively happy with that. So we've got the event received, which is the data. So now we've got a Tomb Raider. We do want to add a, what's this? Script. Right. Now, how do we want to do this in a better way? I've actually been doing this longer than I was intending to. But, yeah. It is what it is. Let's remove this script for now. And revoke the unique name for that. I think this is all needed. Oh yeah, I wanted to sort out this, didn't I? Actually, can I just do this? Where are we at? Oh yeah, I removed put that back a minute. Can I do that? No, I can't. Okay. If Val if the value is not equal to empty, actually that I'm gonna do anyway. Actually, for this one, doesn't really matter. Yes, it does, actually. We do if val is not equal to empty, if val is not equal to empty array or empty dictionary, events. So now if we go and we create a copy of this, we'll just put this as test. We'll make an empty array there. Get actions print, because we don't need to send it, test dot to JSON. We'll breakpoint it and we'll run it. Actually, we'll just carry on. There we go. ID requests with no events. We've got the action subscribe done. If I go over to StreamerBot. Oh. Subscription 0. Let's just do a print on this. We'll take that off. We'll just run it. Action successful. Okay. It did actually subscribe this time. It must have been because of the breakpoint. Okay. Never mind. What is error? If error equals okay. Otherwise, print error sub being to action. There. I think that is. So we'll do the same down here. This one does var error equals that. Here we go. Let's change this to code. A bit cleaner than error. I think. Go. Right, well, actually, we want to find out. Send S. And we'll just do this. Save that. Run it. There you go. It's there. So we don't actually need that there for this. We'll just say so we're listening for I could turn that into a response object, actually. If I know what the object is. Can't remember exactly what the response is. But action. So let's find out. We'll just print, and we'll just print the entire string. Because this, it'll emit an event, but it won't do anything. And yes, I know this isn't actually doing anything to do with the Tomb Raider overlay as such. Okay, good. If we copy this and we'll stick this in my notepad. And we're going to do a JS format on it because I want to be able to actually read it. All right, so we haven't got any arrays in there. Good. We're just raising data. So if I change this to this, and I run it again, just to make sure I get what I get. Yes, all right, so I don't need to even copy this because I've already got it. I wish I got more data, but what happens if I do if I open up this, this, there isn't I go to Tomb Raider again. I'm gonna add kill. This one. It's not one that I can add. All right. Anyway, so what happens if I now do a clear this a second? That's a long press. Add kill, action ID. Button ID is probably the same as that. Yeah, it is. But the action ID is different. That's good. So I need that for if I accidentally add too many, I need to clear some. What happens if I add an argument? Like that. That's on key down. Key down long press. We'll add -1. See, I was complaining I wasn't getting enough information. But we have got the argument increment adds. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so we're getting arguments added to the buttons. That's good. And actually, saying that, the fact that we've got this as well is good. So I'm going to take this like that. And I'm going to steal it. Paste it in there. Where's my JS formatter going to... No, but I could probably put this all in there and get it to format it. I put a comma in there. There we go. Considering it as two separate objects, which is actually good because we've got an ID, an action ID, an action name or name, and then we've got a list of arguments. Now that list of arguments is just a dictionary. So let's have a go at making a new script. This one is streamer bot response, even though it's not technically a response. Inherits from rep counted. That's what this one was, wasn't it? Yeah. This is streamer bot. Do this. So it's response. We don't need that there. There should be another line there. We don't technically need the init, because this is coming in from dictionary. So this is a response that we're getting. So we need changed data. We'll stick in ID. We'll stick in the first one. That's going to be a GUID. Then we want these. Empty out. No, this one is a response. Have any of this. We'll leave ID because ID is actually present. So I don't think we need these because they're not going to come. If they're empty, they're just not going to come through because this is from JSON. What's this? Response, line 19. Okay. So those two methods are complete. We don't need those. Then ID is our base. So we've got action ID. Like this. Then we've got name. And then we've got a dictionary, which is arguments. Right, I did it as that, didn't I? I mean, I guess I could have the arguments as another object. Problem with that is simply the fact that they're going to be different for every event. So we get here. That's going to give us a dictionary.
Clobby 3D.
Clobby 3D, thank you for the follow. Welcome in. I hope you're doing well today. Not a problem. Happy for everybody to be here. I'm not doing too bad. A little tired. It's been a long week. It's just nice to chill and relax. But other than that, I'm doing good. Thank you very much. Where are we at? So D is a dictionary, which means I'll leave that there for now. We have a response object already. No, we don't. So from JSON, which is data. A breakpoint in there. No, because data is the higher level. So I could actually do with having an object for the actual response. Print that out again. I cannot remember what was in it. Add my semis. I'm so glad I can actually add semis in and have it just work. Being a C# developer by profession, it's my main job. Getting used to going between the two is annoying. Now I can just semicolon everything without worrying about it failing. I can stay in the habit. Right, so we're going to print out, we'll comment that out for a minute. This is GDScript. The C# support in Godot is still relatively experimental, shall we say. And there's certain things that you can't do with it. Like at the moment, you can't produce a game that runs in the browser. So when you export it as a browser-based game, you can't if it's C#, which is annoying. And there's like certain methods that you can do, that you have to do certain workarounds in C#. So whereas I'd much rather do it in C#, because it's what my job is, I can't at the moment. Not without jumping through a load of hoops that, let's face it, nobody's got time for. Right, so if I format this, no, not minify it. Format it. Why are you in there twice? Oh, because I'm printing it out there. Okay. Get rid of you. All right, so this is relatively straightforward. We've got a timestamp. We've got an event object which says what it is, which is this. And this. I don't need to worry about the timestamp beyond just having it there. Okay, so let's see if we can make a composite object. So we're going to rename this response data. I work with security cameras, mostly. My company works on the software for security cameras. So game development is a little bit outside of the wheelhouse, but it's actually what I did my degree in, was game development. So now if we grab this, copy that, we can make a new script, which is the actual response. We'll copy this and put that in there. So we've only got 3 properties in this one. So if I just copy all of this, I can rename it and change it. That. So we've got a timestamp, which is put in as a string. Looks like it's times date time offset. I don't really need that. All right. There we go. Oh yeah, we haven't got changed data in there at all yet. No, that's cool. 3D, well, any kind of art-based stuff is just, I am absolutely terrible at. It's probably the main reason why I've never actually finished and like released any games, because I always get to the point where it's like, I'll make something, it looks absolutely rubbish, and it's like, I can't do anything with this. It's rubbish. Looks absolutely terrible and all that. And it's a case of, I never actually look at it like, yeah, it's just temporary. I can't look at programmer art and go, oh, that's temporary, I'm going to replace that later on with something better. Because whenever I try and do that, it just, yeah. Whenever I try and do that, it's just a case of null there. And it's like, it's programmer art. I can replace it later once it's finished. But in my head, I get stuck in the point of like, yeah, it looks bad. Never mind that it's temporary, it looks bad. It's like, no, I need to stop thinking about that. I can replace it later. I would probably say that programmer art is worse. I mean, I'm a bit biased because I am a programmer, but art is, in my opinion, a much harder skill to learn. Because I've been trying for years. As I said, my degree was computer game development, which means I had modules on creating 3D models, 3D art. Yeah, I said I had modules in university for 3D art. So I've been taught like the proper way to do a lot of these things, and I'm still absolutely rubbish at it. Right, where are we at? We need these three. There we go. I mean, programming is like any other language. You can learn, if you can learn a language, you can learn to program. Right, so from... No, this is a response, not response data. So if the incoming has a timestamp that's not null, set it to that. Yeah, there is that. In the end, both skills can be learned. It's just a case of practice. That is actually a dictionary, isn't it? Yep. Yeah, both skills can be learned. It just takes practice. Well, this is the more complicated one, is data. We do streamer bot response data dot from JSON. I think. Would that? No, it wouldn't. It would it would be just. Yeah, because it wouldn't be, because yeah, it'd be that. No, it would be from JSON. From JSON gives me a dictionary. Yeah, it's for that. We need to finish populating this, don't we? That. So we've got an ID, an action ID, a yeah, I'm the kind of person that needs that visual feedback, but you don't often get it with programming, at least not at the start of a project. And it's very difficult for me personally to push past that. The number of abandoned projects I have because I've not been getting that visual feedback, because it just doesn't exist yet. It's just insane. Right, so we've got this here. That is the response. Yeah. Right, so if we do this, we're going to hit the breakpoint. That's true. Game dev is definitely a lot more visually responsive. What is response? Response is an object. So if we do response, if response, actually no, just some prints. print response dot timestamp. Response dot event. This event is a dictionary. Source. And we'll do one more print, which will be type. Actually, we'll do one more after this. Print response dot data. The name. Look at the name of the action. Let's have a look, see if we get everything we need. Or if we get any errors. We got an error. Go back to response event. This is a dictionary. You should be setting that. Why are you not setting that? Because there is no event for this particular object. All right, that would make sense. So let's move all this. Put it inside my usual, like, catch. And we'll put the breakpoint there instead. Good. So we're subscribed. So now if I hit my add death button, we hit a breakpoint, we go to the output, timestamp, source, type, and then the name. Excellent. So we're parsing that nicely. I can remove that. I don't need that anymore. Okay, so what's the best way of digging through this response? Let's add some helper functions in here. Has event adds a boolean. So if event not equal to empty, turn true. Actually, make this smaller. There we go. Then into overlay we go. Response dot has event. And then we can go actually, let's do a better option. Add a event Just type string. Type. So if event is empty, we return false because we know it's going to not be the right type. Otherwise, if event is not empty, we'll go if event is equal to type, we want to return true. Otherwise, we just return false in general. Like that. So into overlay, we can change this to has event raw. Does that as well. Or better, because we want specific like categories and things, we'll change this to source. And we'll add in a type. So here we've got that's cut that down massively. But if the response has an event of type action from source raw, and we just go, this is a check, it should always have data, but just as a safety feature, this shouldn't need any parameters, because we'll just go return data is not equal to null. So if there is data exists, say yes, otherwise no. And you can do it in here, and response dot has data I actually want you to print data, not as a dictionary, but we're going to go response dot data dot to JSON. And we'll just comment out the emit. Actually, no, we'll leave the emit there. And we're just going to go response dot data. We'll go into my events global. This is not going to be a variant. This is going to be a streamer bot response data. So now if we run this, no breakpoints, we don't need any. Run. Okay. Yep. Because we've unhooked everything, Script wise, it's not going to populate my overlay. It's good. Oh, not good, but it's fine. So now if we push a button. All right, invalid access. Okay, so I need to put a few more safety checks in by those things. Oh, it's because I capitalized it. That should fix that. Let's try again. So subscription done. Hit the button. Name. Action ID. No. Okay. Oh, okay. That one, I think. It has request, then result request equals request. That's the request. That's the response data. No, I got it right. So why is it not? Oh, there we go. ID, action ID. Name should be at that. Arguments should be that. Now let's try it. So, all subscriptions done. Hit the button on my Stream Deck. Action ID, arguments, action ID, action name, queued at, event sources from my Stream Deck. The running action ID is that, button ID is that one. The test argument is there with the ID and the name. Good. So it's populating everything as needed. So when I raise the event for received, or when I connect to the event for received, I can now pull out everything I need. Right, I am actually going to be right back. I need to go and check some things downstairs. So I will return in a moment. Until then, enjoy the tunes. And I am back. Oh dear, apologies for that. Okay. Now let's do some UI stuff. So now that things are no longer going to be as dynamic as they were, I don't even need, what's the resources? I don't think I need those. Get rid of those. I'll leave the folders there because I may need those folders. That's panel. So game name is Tomb Raider. Thank you for the sub, or resub, should I say? Shadow Wolf.
Shadow Wolf Tamer.
I hope you're doing well this evening. 38 months. That is an amazing length of time. Thank you very much for the support. Got Spacer in there. I hope your evening is going well. Add in a label. Do I want labels or do I want a H box? Tasty, tasty popcorn. Enjoy your lurk. Since I'll be doing, I wonder. No, that's supposed to be a pain. We want a horizontal H box container, and we need 2 labels in there. Although saying that, actually, if I did create that as a scene, yeah, so we add 2 labels. Title and value. So title would be, let's say, kills. And the value how did I stretch them before? This is it. Horizontal. Expand. And value. We want the same thing. They take up half the space each. I want to add a script to this. Actually, let's
save this branch as a independent scene first. And we'll create a folder called, no, it's not SOM. Components. And we'll call this stat. So now if we open this independently, I want to add a script to this. We need a class name. Probably best to. We'll call it a game stat. We'll export. Okay. Stat name. Then we want a function to update stat. Where we want basically, let's add 2 on readies. One for title and one for the value. And let's make this a tool. So we go stat name equals val. And we want title. Actually, no, if title dot ready. Title dot text equals val. Yeah, so we want to make sure that it's all ready. So on stat update, we go value. Actually, we'll do a if value dot ready just to be safe. Value dot text equals that's a point. Yeah, I mean, they're going to be stats, so they should be numeric. Var amount equals of type int. We'll do a set val amount equals value. Didn't need anything else. Actually, do we even need this? If value dot ready Then we do value dot text is the string representation of amount. Actually, no. No, I do want that separately. We don't need that. We don't need a set for that. New amount. Amount plus equals new amount. And then if it's ready, we just do that. So this would be kills. And if we duplicate that, change that to deaths. So we're going to set. No, we're not going to set it as. Yeah, so we'll do that. And then we'll put a spacer in. Can we put. Actually, can we put a horizontal line? No, not really. Yeah, so we've got kills and we've got deaths. So which way around have we got it? Go to my VOD. So content, video, and we'll go for the Tomb Raider VOD from the other day. Be this one. And going right to when I finished. So we had deaths, then kills. Go. So we want to add a Tomb Raider script. It already exists, so it's going to load it. That's fine. So if we look at overlay, we've got Tomb Raider. Save that. Now I've got script on it. So we do a ready. We want to do events dot receive dot connect. We'll do on streamer bot event saved. We'll now add as a function. Just pass for now, and that takes a streamer bot. Oh yeah, events. data, which is a streamer bot. There we go. Stat line 9. All right. Take that out then. You're going to complain about the on ready. Clear that. Do you all still work? So if we duplicate this and we go complete. Yeah, invalid. Text with value type string, and a base object type of nil. Yeah, this needs the if title dot ready. So stop complaining. I'm going to do it down here. If value dot ready. And go. Clear that. Now we run. We shouldn't get any errors. We do get an error though. All right. How do we check this? Go dot check if node or label is ready. Can't set it as a global unique name. Sure, I've done this. Label returning as null. Where are we at? There was a way we could do it. Was it there's children? sure I've done this in my other project. Can't remember where. And there is it. No, it's not there. Ah, okay. Let's try that. So we've got set. If not, no, is node ready? Wait, ready. And then we do this. This may not be right. This may not do it. Player, change scene. Yeah, it's fine. So if I run this, I should get no errors, hopefully. That's fine. Deaths, kills, kills. Okay, apart from that, I spelled that wrong. This one should be levels completed. All right, good. Where's my script again? No, wrong one. The amount, that's what I want to do on there. So wait for this to load. That was completed. All right, let's... That would require me changing it, the whole thing up. I could put a vertical in and then a horizontal for each one. But that would mean that script stat is no longer used. Okay. I could just make sure I'm careful on what I name things. Okay, so in here we want an export node path. We want stats list. Be a node path. Now if we go here, we want to assign game stats to it. Right, in the stats script, I want Let's change this to stats title. And I want another simpler export for stat name. A string. Okay, so can't have a semicolon on the at tool, which I guess kind of makes sense because it's not a right. So now if we go back to Tomb Raider, stat name would be death. And deaths. Kill. Kills. Level's finished. Level's finished with that thing. All right. So when we receive an event, where's my event arguments? There we go. Okay, cool. So we receive response data. If so, we want to go if the data dot arguments actually dot has, so if it has a stat name property and data dot arguments stat name is equal to, actually no, don't need that. We want to go for each child type game stat in get children, get children. Actually, no, it would be stat list. It has to be a VBox container. So for each child in the stat, it's a game stat. If this is where the data dot arguments, actually, if data dot arguments dot has, if not, get a stat name, then I just want to return. So there's no point checking anything if there's nothing, if it's not a game stat, There's no point checking anything. Then for every child, if child dot stat name is equal to data dot argument, then we go stat name. Then we go child dot update stat. We'll do data dot arguments change value. All right, we'll just put this as an export, not a node path. All right, so if we go here now and read it, stat list, that, so we apply that. We got deaths, kills, and finished levels. Actually, let's get rid of this last one because we haven't got any stats for that yet. So if I go to here, I changed my Tomb Raider folder. Got stat name. That is going to be death. We've got the adjustment amount, which can be a number. I call that change value. That'd be 1. And on a long press, we still want to add death. Stat name still wants to be death, but the change value will be -1. All right. So now if we run this, it all blows up. No, I'm kidding. Hopefully it doesn't. Okay, so push the button. Nothing happened. All right, let's go to the Tomb Raider script. We'll put a breakpoint here. So if arguments has stat name, so apparently arguments doesn't have stat name. I've got stat name as a short press. Stat name is there. Stat name is death. All right. So let's just do a print of data dot to JSON. And we'll run this again. And if we hit the death button, what do we get? Okay. Of course it did. All right. That's an easy fix. So if we take the breakpoint off, just so it just flows through, run it, wait for it. Okay. There's got to be, if I open up this. Get children. No way of getting the type. All right. So let's get that. Because they're not all going to be the same type. If child as game stat is null, continue. We don't need that anymore. So now let's try it. I do need to wrap up shortly, but I want to get this working. There we go. That's a VBox. So I want to actually include another VBox. One last thing I want to do, just go in there, which is, this is going to be the event history. In the Tomb Raider, we need event history. So into Tomb Raider, event history is going to be the event history. All right. So when an event is received, actually, we'll just exit out there because, yeah. Func add history. That should go there. Yeah, so we want to quit out after we've updated the stack. So we don't need to keep checking if we know that we found the right one. So add history. So we want to go if event history dot get child count is, so if we've got 5. Yeah, if we've got 5 children, we want to event history dot remove child, and then we want to do event history dot get child index of 0 to remove the first child. Other than that, we want to go event history dot add child. So we want label dot new. Actually, let's we're going to create a new label. Doesn't matter in the naming for this. Label dot text equals. We want to do event string event. Add the label. And we do add history. And we want it isn't stat name, is it? I want action name. You know, no, yeah, let's go for action name. Because I can always rename the action to be remove death. Why is... Oh, I haven't added the... Right, so Stream Deck. Actually, Streamerbot. Where we got actions. Stream Radar, we got add death. No one does anything apart from plays the sound. We want to duplicate that, rename it to remove death. Then for this, so on the long key press, remove death. Stats name is death. Changes so it's still going to be there, but the actual thing's going to be removed. Let's do kill as well while we're at it. So again, add kill has been changed to get rid of all the calculation stuff. So we want stat name is kill. Change value is 1. Then for the long press, we want to do no. Do not updated yet. It's possible it hasn't updated the list. Let's just put remove death. I can change it for... It doesn't actually matter apart from... kill, and then we add an argument number. Change value -1. There's 7 actions in Tomb Raider. There we go. Remove kill. Change value. We go here. Got change value of 1. Change value of -1. So we minimize this. We play this. Add a kill. And add a death. Add a kill. Add a death. Add a kill. Add a death. Add a kill. Add a kill. Add a death. All right. So that now works. We've got that. So there's one more thing that needs to be done before this is like properly working. And I need to go and probably do some research on that before I actually do it. And that's I need to load and save data so that when I leave, it saves it. It might end up being like a periodic thing. Because obviously if we go to the overlay script, this never ran. Go to run on exit. Run script. No, not run on script on export. How do I execute code on exit? Handling quick requests. This is from, yeah, most up-to-date documentation. All right, so if we change this to underscore notification. We go if what equals notification. There's lots of notifications apparently. WM close request. So now if I run it, we go to the debuggy thingy. So if we quit it now, still hadn't actually. All right, so we need to make some modifications here, which I want to do quickly. Get tree dot quit. So that'll actually have us quit. And then on ready, so after we have connected, So that way, Godot won't handle the quitting process. I will. So we move this over here so I can hit the quit button. Action unsubscribe done. So that should be a capital. Okay. So on load and on quit, I can now load and save various different so I've got a couple of things that I probably want to do. Things like determine what game is being played. Or at least give me the option to like select which game is being played. So that when I've got multiple overlay scenes, because create multiple scenes, different games, relatively straightforward to modify. I just need to create a script. Basically, copy this script scene, create a script to manage that particular game. Bob's your uncle. And because I've got things like the history and it's all done in code, I can do any like calculated fields that I want to do. So like any of you that remembers the original Tomb Raider stats I was running for Tomb Raider 3 when that came out last year, some time I think I played it last, that had average kills per death and things like that. It had calculated averages, so I can set that up in this relatively easy because it's just a case of going to here in the Tomb Raider script. Like, oh, we've received a thing, so we update the stat. It's a case of then, oh, this also needs to update this stat. And I can like alter multiple stats. Yeah. So in fact, might even change it so that we've got like instead of stat name and we'll just go death -1. We go for a short press. We do death +1. And change that. We'll go. So we can't do anymore because it's not going to have a stat name. So for each child, we get the child. If it's not a game stat, we're going to quit. If it is a game stat, we want to do arguments.has. So if it has an argument with the child name, we just do this. That way we can modify multiple stats in the same. Right, actually means we need to remove that return. So for each child, so let's say we added kills on here, so it would loop through, go deaths. Has it got an argument called deaths? Yes, it does. So update that. Has it got one called kills? Yes, it does. Update that. And then in the individual update stat, I can always add a type in here. So update stat, rather than just new amount, which is plus equals, add a type. So it's like, if its type is average, update it by doing this, this, and this. But either way, that will be for next time. So I am going to end my stream here. I was intending to play some games. It's just time got away with me. And yeah, I just don't have the time now. So we will, let's see. I will sort out the save and load. I'll probably do that off stream, so that next stream, which will be Thursday, I might be sooner if I manage to get an earlier like bonus streaming, but chances are it's going to be Thursday. We can jump straight in, carry on with Tomb Raider Chronicles, and hopefully actually like finish the game for 1, and 2, we'll have all these stats running perfectly fine, where I can load them, save them, and then when we play the next game, whatever that ends up being, I can just jump straight in and go like done. I can also like add more things in, so like handling Twitch commands, so that a moderator can add in any like deaths or kills that I miss if I miss them, and things like that. All of this is in preparation for Project Sid, which I'm still not going to release any details on yet. But regardless, so thank you all for watching. Feel free to follow me on any of my socials. Thank you for the follows, subs, for just being here and having fun. And I will catch you all, hopefully, on the flip side. So, where am I at? There I am. So, have a good evening, and I shall hopefully speak to you later.